welcome to week 4. For week 4, we're going to complete the secondary research for our paper that we're building towards over the course of the semester. We'll eventually culminate in project number 3. And we're also going to design the observation protocol and the interview questions that we'll use for the primary research portion of this project in the next couple of weeks. You'll also have your assignments, discussion form number 4, the annotated bibliography number 2, and those 2 instruments that you will use to collect primary research, the observation protocol with room for notes, and the interview questions. All of those are due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. All right, let's look first at your reading assignments for the week. For the reading assignments for week 4, you will read Using Evidence, all sections, Logical Fallacies, all sections, and Revising Your Argument, all sections. As always, your textbook is linked, as well as 2 prezzies that go over the key ideas in each of these readings. All right, and then for annotated bibliography number 2, it is exactly the same as annotated bibliography number 1. Of course, you're finding 2 more sources, so you're looking for scholarly sources. As we noted in our video for using the databases at Macomb, you'll notice that a lot of the databases include a cite widget that will do the citations for you in MLA format 9th edition. But if you are finding your sources elsewhere, you'll most likely need to use something like the Purdue OWL examples and kind of plug the information in. In addition to setting up that works cited page, alpha order, hanging indentation, MLA format 9th edition, you'll also need to create a 1-page double-spaced summary of each of your sources. So you'll have 2 1-page summaries because you have 2 articles. Again, double-spaced, key points of each of the sources. In addition, you'll also add for each of your articles the article's purpose, the article's intended audience, and the article's strongest rhetorical appeal. So all 4 of those things need to be in the summary: key points, purpose, audience, and strongest rhetorical appeal. All right, and then your observation protocol with room for notes and your interview questions will also be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I've given you links to a few different examples, especially in the observations. One is set up more in a table format. One is set up kind of topically with questions, but ultimately you want to think about what you want to be looking for as you observe. So that will be, some of those key points, but then how do you want to collect notes on that? Do you want it to be a table? Do you want to use, a question with some blank, space underneath it where you can jot down your notes? Really, this is what you're going to look through. You're going to decide what it is you want to observe about your site, culture, group, and I would rely on the research that you've done so far. What are the things that you think you might observe, and what are the things that you want to observe? What do you want to learn more about? And then you'll, again, leave space for however you want to jot down the notes as you're observing. Similarly, if you look at the 2 first links in the ethnography interview questions, you'll notice that it gives you, a lot of different options for questions. I would read through those and decide which ones you want to ask an interviewee as you prepare for that interview. So again, you're not collecting the data yet. You're just designing the tools to collect the data. All right, and then as we get into the do section, for the annotated bibliography number 2, your observation protocol and notes, and the interview questions, you're simply going to upload your files or share the link to your document. If you do share a link with me, like to a Google document or, something in OneDrive. Just make sure that the share settings or anyone with the link can view. And then for discussion forum number 4, which I really suggest you do before submitting your observation protocol notes and your interview questions to me, is this gives you an opportunity to get feedback from a classmate. So you're going to design those tools. You're going to upload them into discussion forum number 4. And then as a reply to another classmate's tools, that observation protocol, as well as the interview questions, you're going to consider how that classmate might improve either or both tools in order to answer the questions we're trying to answer about our sites, cultures, or groups. So is what they're looking for in observations, is what they're asking in interviews going to help us eventually know what goes on here, what are the people here like, why do they come here, and what statements can you make about the people gathered here. So, that's the overarching goal of our ethnography. You want to just give them some feedback about how they might improve their tools to get at that. If you have any questions over the course of the week, please let me know.